The Las Vegas Consumer Electronics Show took place this week in Sin City turned Tech City. Now, this is the be-all for the tech world as companies show off their latest. Chris Abel is a tech expert, and he joins us now with a look at some Quebec and Canadian companies making waves. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for the interest.
So before we get to the companies, the Canadian companies and the Quebec companies, can you just paint the picture? You know, I said it's a really big show, but can you explain the importance of this show?
It's the biggest industry tech show in the world, has been historically for many, many years. You think of major things like Beta or VHS, those technologies, they debuted at CES first. So this is where anybody who wants to show off new technology and make it successful, this is where you need to do it.
Okay, so this is the alpha and the omega. This is where it's at. You're not there. You're not you're not relevant, basically, is what you're saying.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these Quebec and Canadian companies because I called Chris this week and I said I need this from you because I'm sure some of our companies are doing well. And we're starting out, and correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Eli Health Monitor. What is this?
It's Eli Health. That's Eli.health, its website. So currently, many of the latest smartphones, they can monitor things like your heartbeat, your temperature, even how well you sleep at night. But the one thing that Apple and Samsung haven't figured out how to do is your hormone levels. So this is where Eli Health has come through. They've come up with an accessory for your existing smartphone. So you get this accessory. It's a little test strip, sort of like a USB device. You stick one end in your mouth. It, for 30 seconds, will collect enough saliva that it can then process. It takes 20 minutes. Then you use your phone to collect the information from it. It will tell you what your current hormone levels are, and then record that so that it can monitor it, the changes from day to day, hour to hour, whatever it is that you need for your current condition. I mean, the two obvious ones are going to be pregnancy and menopause, but there are lots of other conditions as well. It's kind of good just to be able to monitor general changes in your overall health. So very, very good because this is not going to be a very expensive accessory and it's already for your existing phone.
Yeah, and this is the Canadian or the Quebec company here, this one? I mean, it's all the same. It's all Canadian, but this is
This is from Quebec. This is Eli Health.
Okay, perfect. So this is amazing because, again, as a woman who has had 2 kids and who is over 40, this is really interesting right now to me. Okay, let's talk about Haptic Mouse. Haptic Mouse.
Haptic Mouse. So this involves the fantastic growing market of virtual reality and augmented reality. And so you have some companies like Facebook, which has been very successful in coming up with virtual reality for consumers, games, exciting entertainment, that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of other companies that see this as being an opportunity for professionals. And so one of the issues is you're in the world of virtual reality. You want to be able to be artistic. You want to be able to create something. You want to pick up a paintbrush or a chisel. You want to make virtual arts. Well, the problem is how do you do that when you don't feel the resistance through the brush? Any artist knows that when you're holding on to a chisel or you're holding onto a paintbrush, you need for that precision to know exactly the precise amount of pressure that you're putting on it. So what Haply has come up with, they say, all right, you're holding a virtual paintbrush. How do we make that feel real? Well, this is a little accessory that's kind of like a desktop lamp. You've got a gooseneck on it, and the gooseneck attaches to whatever is the device that's supposed to look like a stylus or look like a brush that you then hold. Now, it just, while it does, it's not supporting the stylus, it's just holding onto it so that it can offer resistance while you're using that brush. You're using it against in the virtual world. And that way, it gives you that exact precision, that feedback that you're looking for as an artist in terms of how you're crafting or creating. I give them credit because not only have they come up with the technology, but they've made it look just beautiful. I mean, this is a gorgeous looking device just in terms of the curves, the aesthetics of it. I think they've done a great job. The only issue I have is that a lot of people in VR are often standing, moving around. This is something that looks more like a desktop accessory. So I think there's still work for them to do on it, but I love the idea.
Yeah, my husband's a professional artist. This is going to be really interesting for him to look into. Wow, it's a brave new world. Okay, let's talk about AWL wireless wheelchair charging. This is huge.
It is huge because although we've got fantastic powered wheelchairs, they're not using lithium-ion batteries. They're still using batteries from several decades ago. You got dry gel batteries. Most people are surprised when they find out that, hey, wheelchair can take anywhere from 7 to 9 hours just to charge. Oh, my gosh. So AWL, which, I mean, that's a real pain when you need to be able to get around.
Mm-hmm.
So AWL has come up with a new wireless charging system. So you put a mat down on the floor, and then you just drive your wheelchair on top of it. It automatically starts charging. You don't have to depend on somebody else to come over and connect all the cables to get the charge, because the chargers are massive.
Yeah.
You've got like 3 different cables you got to plug in. And so this is about making the charging process very simplistic, very easy, and then also making it so that you can then, while it's charging, you can now have the mat in front of a desk. So you can get work done while your wheelchair is charging, or you can sit in front of the TV or eat. You don't have to sit and or get out of your chair and then have to wait 7 hours for it to be charged. So AWL, I think they're doing great work there.
And with an aging population, this is going to be key. This is huge. Okay, and I think the last one I wanted to highlight is Nanoleaf Light Therapy Face Mask. Explain.
Yes. Okay. So this really turned a lot of heads. So Nanoleaf, which is a company based in Toronto, they are well known, very popular for making LED light panels that you put onto your walls. I've got them in my home. I love them. You've got little hexagons and triangles, and you can create shapes. I've got an owl that I made on my wall, and I love that it wakes up and lights up in the mornings to kind of give me a wake-up call. What they've done, their next product, big surprise, is they've moved in for the first medical device that they've come up with. And so they've come up with an LED light therapy face mask. This is a mask that kind of looks like Iron Man in that you've got this hexagonal mask you put on your face, the rectangle cutouts for your eyes and your nostrils, and then it exposes your skin to LED near-infrared light. There's a full spectrum of colors that Nanoleaf is known for, and they say that they've got the colors worked out for 7 different modes that can be used to treat a number of different minor conditions. So it's not chronic skin conditions, but it's things like acne. It's the development of lines in the face, even skin tone. This is something that it looks weird, it looks really, really goofy, but I have to admit that I know that in other places in the world, Asia in particular, these weird medical face masks are incredibly popular. Nanoleaf has shown it off. They've already got FDA medical certificate approval for it, and they say they'll be launching it next month for $150 US.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how much Botox costs. So this is a much more interesting option. Wow, these are Quebec and Canadian companies. Again, all of them making waves, or made waves, I should say, at the Las Vegas Consumer Electronics Show. Chris Abel, tech expert, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you. This has been fun.